I'm going to try to do probably call it a Mosin Nagant update. I did send some emails or comments out to a few people that I talk to a lot on YouTube. It's raining out today. I couldn't go out to the range, so there was a small gun show close by, and then I stopped by a local gun shop. It's open on Sundays, and of course I had to pick up a couple more Nagants. Now what I did is I bought a couple groups of them, like 5 at a time from AIM Surplus, and then I picked them up. Some I bought from the shop and a couple other sources, gun shows. And what I was trying to do is get a collection of them that spanned years, and have wartime production ones and that and everything else. And I found that generally people were paying anywhere from $80 to $100, sometimes $120. It's for a rifle with all accessories. Some places would sell them you for $80 without a sling, bayonet, or anything, just a gun. And it kind of depends. Well, I went to a gun show today, and there was one guy that had a grouping of them, and I was walking around with a gun I was trying to sell, and I went through the show, so I went back and looked over in his area. It was a small show. And he had them Mosin Nagant's M9130 starting at $139.99. And what he was selling for $140 was round receivers, and I was looking at them, and you guys keep talking about the bullet test, but they're all in a rack, so I could stand up and look at them. And I got an example here. I was looking down at the bores, looking at the ends of the guns, and you look at this one here. It's you can see the finish, the crown, and the muzzle itself. Well, there was another one that looked like about a .40 caliber standing next to it. They're counterbored. There were 2 or 3 of them there that were counterbored, and I mean, you could visibly see where it was counterbored. And those were the ones he had for $139. And then all the guns were in good shape. They were packed in grease. They were pretty gunky. And at the gun show, they're all tied up, so you can't ask him. He had like 10 of them. I'm like, can I look at each bore? So I looked down the ends. I found the counterboard ones. I found a 1940 Izhevsk that was counterboard, and I thought about it. I mean, it looked good on the outside, but I said I'd pass, and I wanted to go to a gun shop where a guy told me he was getting he had ordered 3 cases of them. And I got down, I left the gun show, I didn't buy anything. I went to the gun shop, and he had a case, and I think he just got the case. He puts the guns in there. There's about 12 guns in there. It wasn't a full 20. There was a top row, and then about 2 or 3 on the bottom. And of course, I'm going through the top row, and both of them had a ton of tools, a lot of tool arsenals, where they're charging you $10 extra for tools. So I was looking at the other guy. They went from $139.95 to like $180. A hex receiver in nice shape with all the accessories, $180 is what he was getting for them. So I go to this other shop. He's got them down there, $139.95, just like the other place. And so I said, well, I came down and might as well look. So I started digging through the pile. And again, he had a ton of tools. And kind of, some of them, like that one there, you see the steel on the end of the barrel. Some of them you can see when they blued it, they dipped the whole thing in the end of the barrel, and I think the inside of the barrel and everything's blued too. So they're ranging in weird shapes and variations. So I dug through, I pulled all the guns out, was laying them out on the floor in the shop, and everybody's walking around me and looking at me, and dropped 1 or 2 of them. And I said, I gotta buy something after going through all this. So I picked 2 guns out, and what I did is out of all of them, and a lot of them had pretty crappy boards too. They weren't exactly good. I got this one here. which is, it's like double stamped, or the stamp moved. It's a 1943 Tula, and it's got a real nice bore. It's not too bad, you know. Just a good, nice round receiver gun. And this guy here, I got oil cans with him. You had all the accessories in boxes. You had to go fish them out. You know, I found 2 different types of oil cans around in the square, and he gave you 2 pouches with each gun instead of 1. Spike bayonets are all piled in a corner. Sling, 2 pouches, bayonet, toolkit, and a little cloth pouch. So I dug through that, and also in there were 2 guns I found. They were quite interesting. Both of the bores on them weren't very good. You couldn't really see what was, I'll bring it over here. And the reason I got this is where it's stamped. This is a 1942 Tula. It has the serial numbers, and I don't know if you can see it or not. It has some weird stampings on there. And then it has a like a NO, like a number. And there's something in Cyrillic. Then it has, you can barely see, the wood line just covered this up. There's some large numbers, like a 3 crossed out with a 1 and a 2, 8, 9 here on this part of the receiver. I don't know if you can quite see that. But they're large. They're large stamped numbers. They're larger than the serial numbers. The serial numbers are down here, and they're quite tiny, you know. Bounce the light. And it had these numbers, 2, 8, 9, and then up here under the barrel band, up in here, there's also a set of numbers, X, 3, 2, 8, 9. I've never quite seen any of the guns that had numbered like that. And also very unusual, here on the receiver, try to get the light on it, there's a small 3 stamped here. Small 3. So I bought them. I bought the 2 of them. I bought the nice one, and I bought this odd stamped one. There was one also stamped similar, but they both had rough bores, and so I took this one. It was kind of nicer. And then there was one that looked like it was sterile. It had like a commercial blue finish, and the arsenal markings on the barrel were ground off and just a serial number across. But well, the problem is I ended up paying $150 a piece by the time sales tax and everything else is said and done. They were getting about $149.95 is what I paid. So the prices are going up. I came back home, went online, looked around. I cannot find anybody selling hex receivers anywhere. Any like AIM or JG Wholesales or Impact Guns is sold out. Anyone who had them advertised are sold out. They're sold out of the round receivers for $89 in most places. Prices seem to be going up. If they're running out of the 37 million of them that were made, I don't know. Or people getting greedy and just trying to jack the price up. Then there's the panic factor. The reason I bought these 2 guns is I'm doing another video on surplus ammo that I'm using, and I ran that collection through and test fired them all finally. I had the time to do it. And I want to review each gun and go over how the bayonet changed the impact and that. And I got a lot of different results. The guns all act, I'll tell you now, the guns all act individually. A majority of them, like with the bayonet, the point of impact dropped. Some of them, the groups got tighter with the bayonet on. Some of them, the groups got worse with the bayonet on. And there were 2 of them where when I put the bayonet on, the point of impact didn't change at all. You know, all kinds of variables, all kinds of strange things. And basically that's what I'm doing. It's my hobby. I like to do this. But I like to kind of go on at prices. It looks like prices are going up. The prices are going up kind of crazy. And people are buying these things for what reason, I don't know. And what happened to me is when I bought the groupings of 5, I was trying to get a collection going by dates. Like I wanted like a 32, 33, or whatever, and round receivers I would have liked a 40 to 45. And I was trying to do that, and when I was buying like a group of 5, I ended up with 3 rifles that were dated 1944. So I figured, well, I'll sell off, pick one of the 3, sell off 2 of them, and buy another batch, and try to get the dates. Because if you go and you get to dig through the crates and boxes and pick out each one, you're probably going to end up paying more, is what I did. And I was lucky. They sent me a lot of nice guns with nice bores. But the problem is, I went and asked the guy at work, I said, would you want to buy one of these rifles? And I didn't really, I marked it up a little bit. I wasn't price gouging him, so he goes, yeah, I'll buy one. And he come over and gave me some money, so I just handed him the gun. He was happy with it. And that's the guy who wanted to hang it over the fireplace, wasn't going to shoot it. Well, little did I know that he ran all through town on his one day out, in between 2 days of work, showed this thing to everybody, and he's telling me that he's got 5 people who want to buy him. I said, I'm not running, I'm not buying and selling these. I said, I'm like a collector. I'm accumulating them. If I got some doubles, it's like a stamp or coin collection. I got some doubles or something, I'll sell them off just to get the money back to buy a couple other different ones. So I sold him a couple guns and ended up with the collection last video I made. And then he's just, my friend, he keeps bothering me, keeps buying. This guy's coming to me every other day at work. Oh, you got to sell me another gun, sell me another gun. And I'm like, I really didn't finish all my testing. I measured slugged all the bores, did the little gauge pin, got everything done, and he just kept, every day he's bothering me. So I said, look, all right, the price went up. I got some more, the price went up. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I took 1938 tool, and I kind of didn't want to, because that was the one where the bore was the biggest out, diameter-wise. The internal diameter was the largest. And I got the target. When I review it, I'll go over it. I think it was getting flyers or something, but we'll go over it when we get to there. So I sold him the one gun, and basically that paid for one of these, but I ended up buying 2 of them, replaced that one, and then just because, like I said, the strange markings, I bought the one nice one, and I got this one with the strange markings on there, which I want to shoot and see if there's a difference, or if them, those are accuracy markings or what. But people just buy these guns up, and I don't even know if they shoot them or what, or it's getting crazy, and the prices are starting to skyrocket on these guns. I don't mind buying them for $100 or paying $120 to get one that's a little unusual, but now they're getting up to $140 for round receivers, and it's $170, $180 for a hex, which I'm not into this more or less for the money or the value. It's just selling them. I like shooting them, I like studying them, and I like the fact that they were inexpensive and I could get a lot of them to compare. And over time, after I get done fooling with them, get tired of them, I'd like to sell them, get my money out of them, but it's getting crazy. And if you haven't bought one yet and you're interested in one, I suggest you look into buying one as soon as you can, because prices might go up, if anything. I don't know if the sources will dry up. They've been selling them for years like this. I don't know how many have been imported or how many have been sold, but prices could go up soon. So if you're sitting on the fence thinking about it, I think you should go out and buy one as soon as you can. Okay?